What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Ben, co-host of Bryce Blau. Today we're talking about one of my favorite brands out there, Nutrex. Their Outlift Amped got a bit of a facelift this year during their Warrior series, and this is the new version here, which I'm excited to talk about. Now, Outlift Amped is part of a line of Outlifts. The Outlift Clinical is actually one of my favorite pre-workouts for new pre-workout users. Outlift Amped is a bit of a step up in terms of the stimulant portion of pre-workouts, and in this pre-workout, they went for a high stim option with a little bit less of those ergogenic aids that you would see in the clinical Outlift. However, they didn't completely exit the category. There are some other great ingredients in here as well.
Welcome to Bryce Blau.
So in this video, I'm going to break down the ingredients. I'm going to talk to you about what each one kind of does on its own and give you my side of how I feel about these ingredients. Now, up front, I want to make sure that I tell you guys, we do have a business affiliate relationship with Nutrex. I have known the boys at Nutrex since far before my time at Bryce Blau. I've been friends with Paul and guys that have been in and out of that company for some time now. So call me biased, call me what you want. I like Nutrex. They make some good products. And if you use our coupon code, we do obviously get a commission off of that. That being said, Outlift Amped is going to be a product I'm going to break down thoroughly and explain the science behind. I'm going to try to give as little anecdotes here as possible and stick to the science, as you guys all know and expect when you watch Bryce Blau videos. So, starting off from the top, Outlift Amped, even though they call it a high stim pre-workout, in the past it's been referred to as a concentrate formula. It is actually a 21.9 gram scoop. It's almost a 22 gram scoop. 5 years ago, that would have been a huge pre-workout formula. These days, it is becoming more common to see these large dosages, these large scoops, which obviously I'm always excited to hear about. However, it doesn't take away from the excitement about Nutrex Outlift. So let's start at the top and work our way down. The first ingredient here, as with most pre-workout formulas, is going to be citrulline malate at a 2-to-1 ratio. So there's 8 grams here. So 5,300 milligrams of regular citrulline and the rest being malic acid. Now, there is no more reactant bonded citrulline malate in the world. We've seen this, we've known this for some time. This is just a blend of citrulline and malic acid. So those studies showing those endurance results of citrulline malate may not apply here, but we are a fan of citrulline as a whole. 5.3 grams of it is going to be above the 4 clinical dosage. And the rest of the malic acid could be involved with some energy production, energy for cells. Could be helpful. Probably just going to help with the flavor for the most part. Moving to the next ingredient, we've got 3.2 grams of beta-alanine, which as CarnoSyn. CarnoSyn is the trademarked version of beta-alanine. You are no longer required to use CarnoSyn for your beta-alanine source, as they lost the patent. However, you do get access to all the claims from the studies specifically performed on CarnoSyn. Beta-alanine will help out a lot with endurance, especially if you're training for over a minute per set. However, I believe personally that beta-alanine is one of the most studied ingredients in the market, and even if you're not training over exactly 59.9 seconds, I think that it can aid you in your endurance. No matter what, your work capacity as a whole, I feel, will be benefited through the supplementation of beta-alanine on a regular basis. You want to get around 3.2 grams a day. I've gone as far up as 6.4, which some studies have noted. There's a lot of different studies showing different times, different dosages. I think it's really simple. Get 3.2 grams in every single day, and eventually you will saturate your blood with it and reap those benefits. Betaine Anhydrous at 2.5 grams is the clinical dosage again. We're seeing some great dosages here. Betaine Anhydrous can help a lot with power output, hydration. It is a precursor to creatine. It also helps keep levels of methionine, an essential amino acid, higher in the blood. As a whole, I'm a huge fan of Betaine Anhydrous. I think it has a lot of benefits for most people in the gym. It's one of those ingredients that I'd like to see more studies on, but we don't see many downsides to keeping it in your stack often. Magnesium creatine chelate as Creatine MagnaPower at 2 grams is going to be both a creatine and a magnesium source. Now, I am going to say here that 2 grams of a creatine source is less than I'd like to see. I'd like to see 5 total grams of creatine, no matter the source, no matter if it's hydrochloride, monohydrate, any of that. I really don't care what you have to say about how bioavailable or anything it is like that. You still need to saturate the blood, so I want to see 5 grams total. 2 grams here is admittedly an underdosed product. You should be adding extra creatine to your diet if you are taking this. One added benefit of using this ingredient is that you get a lot of magnesium along with it. It's in a chelated form, which makes the body absorb it much more efficiently. Most athletes will benefit from more magnesium. Most of us don't get enough of it in our diets, so I am always game for more magnesium, but in this case, I'd be I'd be game for more MagnaPower overall. Taurine at 2 grams here completely exceeds my expectations. I usually see 1 gram and I get happy about it. At 2 grams, I'm even happier. There is a slew of different benefits from using taurine. There's a meta-analysis that I will throw up on the screen as I do every time that I talk about taurine on this channel. Huge benefits. Love to see taurine in there. 2 grams will try to distract me from the lowered creatine dose and the next ingredient being a not so great source as well. N-Acetyl-L-Tyrosine is the next ingredient at 750 milligrams, which time and time again, science and data shows that it is not more beneficial than using just regular L-tyrosine. In fact, it's actually less beneficial than using regular L-tyrosine. That being said, there are a few formulas using N-Acetyl-L-Tyrosine that I continuously have great focus from. I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. The data doesn't support this, but personally, N-Acetyl-Tyrosine works pretty well for me. And when I've spoken to very educated formulators across the industry, time and time again, they just say, it works. It works. It works. We've seen it in our, betas and subjects and all the different ways that they test their products. They like the benefits of N-Acetyl-Tyrosine, even if the data doesn't necessarily back that up. So I would say that I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that because the data shows otherwise. However, it even works in my case when I take it. So take that for what it's worth. 750 milligrams is on a low dose to begin with. You should see some benefits here. However, I'd like that 750 milligrams to be a full L-tyrosine. Moving into their choline source, you've got choline bitarate here at 500 milligrams. Now, choline bitarate is admittedly probably the lowest, I don't want to say quality because it's probably pure here since Nutrex uses a great manufacturer, but it is the least sought after choline source. It is cheaper than most, and we don't even know what form it is here. Now, choline bitarate can come in 2 different isomers. If they were to disclose that they were using vitacholine, I'd be happier here because it's the L isomer, which is more beneficial for the body. Now, I don't know which isomer it is here. I didn't ask because, well, I want to give you guys the honest truth. As a consumer, if you don't know these things, I can't expect myself to know these things, or vice versa, I guess I would say. I don't want to do this review based off of intelligence that the normal consumer wouldn't have just reading the bottle. So I have no clue what version of choline is. Now, choline is going to help no matter what because it's a choline source. And if you don't have enough choline, you cannot form acetylcholine, which is depleted very quickly when you train hard, when you focus. And acetylcholine is extremely helpful for focus, mind-muscle connection, and contractions in the gym. No matter what, it is going to be helpful that there's choline in here. However, I would have been happier with a phosphatidylcholine, alpha-GPC, acetylcholine, something like that. But something is better than nothing, as always. And the dosage here is not bad. I just am left wanting a little bit more. Now we have a caffeine blend here. Active is delivering 350 milligrams. Of course, the versions being used here are not 100% caffeine. They're using calf citrate, which yields 200 milligrams of caffeine, and caffeine anhydrous yielding 150 milligrams of caffeine. Calf citrate is a quick acting one, or at least quicker than caffeine anhydrous, so you're going to get a quick spurt of energy from this, and the caffeine anhydrous is going to pull it a little bit further. This is one blend that I don't use very often, so it's a very unique blend. If you're looking for a high stim, quick acting pre-workout, this is going to be for you. I normally opt for caffeine anhydrous with N-Acetyl-L, which is actually a little bit longer than these two. That being said, you will get a swift kick from this pre-workout. It will wake you up. It will get you moving. So honestly, can't complain there. It's going to do some good stuff for you. It just depends on your personal needs or what you're comfortable with and want to be using. If you like a lot of energy, this will probably work for you. Starting off with TeaCrine at the bottom, great ingredient from Compound Solutions. For some people, it can really help out with focus. For some people, they don't really feel all that much. I'm not a huge responder to TeaCrine, and we actually see, depending on your body weight versus the dosage, a bell curve where in the center you get great energy from it, but if you're on the sides of the bell curve, you might actually feel a little bit more tired from it. So personally, I don't usually advocate for brands to be using TeaCrine because of that split between different consumers. Some enjoy it, some don't. However, big fan of Compound Solutions. In theory, the ingredient works very well as long as it's dosed out right for the consumer. Now it's 50 milligrams here. I'm not seeing too much of a risk here. I think that it probably will help out most people. If you are not a huge beneficiary of TeaCrine, probably won't really mind very much because there's so much caffeine in here. It yields 350 milligrams of caffeine, which is a lot for most people, especially in a fast-acting form. Last 2 ingredients in here are very small dosages, but help out overall. Bioperine is a black pepper extract, obviously for absorption of ingredients. It's going to help your body utilize the ingredients more efficiently and pick up where things may be a little bit less bioavailable. Last ingredient is Rauwolfia Extract at 1.5 milligrams, which is a natural form of alpha yohimbine and a little bit more tolerable version of yohimbine. Now, yohimbine is something that can cause most people to have anxiety, paranoia, sweating, reddening, a lot of blood flow, obviously. For myself, if I take too much regular yohimbine, I can get very uncomfortable. Alpha yohimbine is a lot easier for me to handle, so I'm happy that they went with that. Overall, the product has above average stim. However, Nutrex as a whole is still a responsible company that does not go too high or risk too much. This is still going to be consumed by a lot of mainstream consumers. So if you consider yourself an above average stim user and not too worried about pump, you want to have some blood flow, this is going to be a fine choice for you. That being said, if you want something extremely high dosed in stimulants, or if you want something low in stimulants, this is definitely not the one for you. They do have other versions. Alpha Pump is going to be something completely stim free. Their Outlift Clinical is going to be for those people who just want a little bit of stim. This is definitely their highest stim product in the pre-workout category. So overall, I felt good using this product. I like to use it on my speed days because there's a little bit less pump, but still keeps me hydrated and focused. It gives me a little bit of pump. I don't want too much pump when I'm hitting reps and reps and reps and trying to keep the speed up as an athlete. For most people, this product's going to be a little bit more for those strength days. If you are a bodybuilder that's going in for a big back day with deadlifts or a big squat day, you probably are going to want to look at something that has a little bit less pump so that you can last longer in the gym. And this is definitely a good option for you as an athlete. So obviously, it is a 22-gram scoop, but it's quick to get through because there are some hard-hitting ingredients with big dosages in here. So we don't have to spend too much time on it. As always, guys, I really appreciate you watching the video. If you have any questions about Nutrex, you can go to pricewell.com/Nutrex for all your news, reviews, and interviews. If you have any questions about this product, or if you want to ask me anything specifically, you can comment below, whether you're on YouTube or Instagram. I really appreciate you making this far in the video. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks so much, guys, and have a great day.
Welcome to Price Plow.